Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you guys for being a part of our morning roast here this morning. I hope you're enjoying a nice cup of coffee. If you're seeing this early, this is my favorite mug that I have. Has my name on it. And horse saying ride this. I love it. Anyway, wanted to come today to talk about a question that I get a lot is how much pressure is too much pressure to put on a horse? And it's a great question, but I actually have even a better question than that is what is the right amount of pressure in all situations to be able to put on a horse? And unfortunately, that question has so many variables to it, to the answer that we honestly couldn't go through all of these variables in any timely fashion, number one. But number two, we couldn't truly answer that question very, very well. So the question of how much pressure is too much pressure or what's the right amount of pressure really just comes down to this one thing that I've learned over the years that I think is the most important piece of it all. I think this is something that people don't talk enough about, right? Because a lot of times we want to think that like horse training is black and white. We want to think that it's, this way or that way, and it's a simplistic way. But again, remember, it really depends on the horse and it depends on the situation, right? So if you have a spooky horse, you might need less pressure. But if you have a spooky horse that's also running on top of you, you may be needing a little bit more pressure in order to keep yourself safe, right? And or vice versa, right? The situations and the horse dependent determines how much pressure you put on a horse. But here's the thing. When working with a horse, you need only one thing to remember. You ready? It's only one word. It'll be easy to remember. Fluctuation. Fluctuation is what you need to be really great at in order to train your horse. If you don't have fluctuation, I can guarantee you're going to always be behind the horse, you're going to give confusing messages to the horse, and you're never going to grow that true relationship that you want. You need to be able to fluctuate your energy in order to get the best possible outcome. There are times where your energy needs to go up. There are times where it needs to be dropped. But it needs to be able to fluctuate not only all the time when you're working with your horse, but sometimes it needs to be done rapidly. Sometimes you need to be able to increase when you need it and then drop immediately. So fluctuation is not only the key to understanding about energy, right? And how much energy you use. Fluctuation is also just a key component in all aspects of training. Being able to train your horse ultimately needs to have fluctuation. So today is kind of a shorter message than most because really the idea is just you going out and learning how to fluctuate your emotion, right? It's one of those things, if you've ever been, maybe sitting there crying one moment and then somebody makes you laughing the next moment, then you realize how sad you are and you're back to crying again. That's fluctuation, right? You've had that ability to go up and down like this emotional roller coaster. Well, we should kind of think about that with the horse. We don't always necessarily just want to be steady Eddie. As good as that can be in certain situations, sometimes it needs to have a ramp up and then an immediate drop off. Just, again, dependent upon the situation. So because there's so many variables, the horse, the situation, and those are ever changing, right? Situations are ever changing. There's no like, if you're in this situation, you use this much pressure to get a job accomplished. You just need to remember to be able to read your horse and fluctuate accordingly. So I hope this kind of helps. Next time you guys are out there working with your horse, think about this and how you can improve upon this and how you can really be on this emotional roller coaster, if you will, but in a positive way. I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, that you'd like me to answer, please feel free to leave a comment below, and we would love to put them on one of the next morning roasts. With that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next week. Have a good day, everybody.